The disappearance of Courtney Stauffer. Courtney Stauffer, a 21-year-old from Palmyra, Pennsylvania, vanished in the early hours of July 29, 2012. Courtney was last seen at her apartment where she lived with her boyfriend, Brad Herr, who was on house arrest for DUI charges. On the night of July 28th, Courtney went out with friends to Harrisburg. She got into an argument with a known drug dealer at the hardware bar. Upon returning home, Courtney and a friend, Cody Pruitt, were involved in a dispute with neighbors, leading to multiple police visits that night. At around 3 a.m., Courtney was reported to be causing a disturbance. The police arrived and the parties involved were told to return to their apartments. The police were called again at 4 a.m. due to further complaints from neighbors. They knocked on Courtney's door but received no response. When Cody awoke later that morning, Courtney was gone. Her belongings, including her phone, wallet, keys, and car, were left behind. The investigation into Courtney's disappearance began with an extensive search of her apartment and surrounding areas. Despite a thorough search, no signs of a struggle or foul play were evident. Courtney's family and friends conducted numerous searches, and a $50,000 reward was offered for information leading to her whereabouts. Authorities have considered various theories. One was that Courtney's neighbors might be involved due to the disputes that night. Another theory speculated she might have been a victim of foul play related to drug activities, given her argument with a drug dealer earlier that evening. Some investigators proposed the possibility of a serial offender being responsible, citing similarities with other missing person cases in the region. This theory has been largely dismissed by local authorities at present, at least publicly. The lack of evidence at her apartment led some to believe that Courtney might have been abducted randomly. This theory remains speculative, with no substantial evidence to support it. The investigation remains active, with the Palmyra Police Department and the FBI involved. New tips are still being received, but none have led to significant breakthroughs. The family hired a private investigator in 2015 to bring fresh eyes to the case, yet this has not yielded new leads either. If you have any information with respect to Courtney's case, please contact the FBI or contact the Palmyra Police Department. The Carancas Impact Event. On September 15, 2007, the quiet village of Carancas in the Puno region of Peru, near the Bolivian border and Lake Titicaca, experienced an interesting event. A meteoroid streaked across the sky and crashed into the earth, creating a substantial crater and causing a range of mysterious phenomena that puzzled scientists and locals. The Carancas impact event was significant because it challenged many preconceived notions about meteor impacts. The meteorite hit the ground with such force that it created a crater about 44 feet wide and 15 feet deep, which was unexpected for stony meteorites that usually disintegrate. The event was marked by an explosive detonation, a smoke trail, and a mushroom-shaped cloud visible from miles around. Immediately following the impact, locals reported strange occurrences. The crater's water was described as boiling due to the intense heat of the impact. Witnesses also noted a strong sulfuric odor, and the black fragments of the meteorite appeared to be smoking. As villagers and local police approached the site, many began to experience a variety of ailments, including nausea, dizziness, headaches, and vomiting. This prompted fears of contamination, and authorities considered declaring a state of emergency. Peruvian health officials initially downplayed the seriousness of the medical situation, though they did send medical personnel to treat those affected. The regional health director reported that while many villagers exhibited symptoms, they were recovering well. The mayor of Carancas, Maximiliano Trujillo, attributed the ailments partly to psychological factors and organized a community meeting to address fears and provide scientific explanations. Interestingly, these symptoms dissipated within a few days, leading to various theories about their cause. One theory suggested that the illnesses were psychosomatic, triggered by the fear and superstition surrounding the event. Local beliefs about celestial phenomena and their potential to bring misfortune may have exacerbated the situation. Another theory posited that the meteorite's impact released toxic gases, such as sulfur and arsenic, from the ground, which could have caused the symptoms experienced by the villagers. Despite these theories, no conclusive explanation has been universally accepted. Some scientists initially considered the possibility of radioactive contamination, but this was quickly ruled out. The Carancas meteorite also drew international scientific attention. Researchers from various countries, including the United States and Japan, conducted studies to understand the event better. They were intrigued by the fact that a stony meteorite could create such a large crater and remain largely intact upon impact. The Carancas impact event remains a subject of scientific discussion and study, both for its impact and its effects on the local populace. The Super Mario 64 personalization AI theory. Super Mario 64, a seminal game for the Nintendo 64, has been the subject of many fan theories and myths over the years. Among these, the personalization AI theory has captivated and intrigued many, spawning numerous YouTube videos. This theory posits that every copy of Super Mario 64 is uniquely personalized to each player through an advanced artificial intelligence embedded within the game. The personalization AI theory gained significant traction around 2019 and 2020, primarily through online forums and YouTube channels. Proponents of this theory suggest that an experimental AI was implemented in Super Mario 64, capable of subtly altering the game to tailor it to individual players' preferences and behaviors. This AI supposedly makes changes that range from the appearance of characters and levels to the difficulty and gameplay mechanics, making each player's experience unique. Supporters of the theory often cite personal anecdotes and perceived anomalies in the game as evidence. Many players report experiencing different enemy placements, altered level designs, and unique events that they claim are not present in other versions of the game. These discrepancies are attributed to the supposed AI, which customizes the game in a way that aligns with the player's style and preferences. One of the most intriguing aspects of this theory is the idea that the AI can read the player's mind or respond to their thoughts, creating an eerily personalized experience. An important factor contributing to the theory's popularity is the psychological impact of nostalgia and memory. Super Mario 64 was a groundbreaking game for many, and the intense emotions and memories associated with playing it during childhood often blur the lines between reality and imagination. This phenomenon can lead to exaggerated or distorted recollections of the game, reinforcing the belief in a personalization AI. Despite its popularity, the personalization AI theory has faced significant criticism and skepticism. Critics argue that the theory is more likely a result of collective memory and childhood nostalgia than any actual in-game AI. They point out that memory can be highly fallible, especially over long periods, and that the differences players recall are likely due to normal variations in gameplay experiences. Moreover, technical analyses of the game's code have not revealed any evidence of such an AI. Nintendo has also officially denied the existence of a personalization AI within Super Mario 64, asserting that no such technology was ever implemented in the game. This has led many to conclude that the theory is nothing more than an elaborate hoax or a piece of interactive fiction created by the fan community. Another aspect that feeds into the theory is the concept of liminality within the game. Liminal spaces are transitional or transformative spaces that evoke a sense of unease and nostalgia. Super Mario 64 is filled with such spaces, from the empty hallways of Princess Peach's castle to the bizarre and often unsettling textures and environments. These elements contribute to a feeling of otherworldliness that can make the game feel uniquely personal and haunting, further fueling the theory of a personalization AI. To paraphrase a popular marketing slogan from the 90s, if this theory is true, Nintendo does what Genesis don't. Also, yes, to preempt the inevitable question in the comments, I've been sitting on this topic for ages now, and I did wait for part 64 to include it. The death of Karen Silkwood. Karen Silkwood was an American chemical technician and labor union activist. She became famous for her efforts to expose safety violations at the Carancas fuel fabrication site in Crescent, Oklahoma. Born on February 19, 1946, in Longview, Texas, Silkwood's journey from worker to notable whistleblower highlights significant issues in the nuclear industry during the 1970s. In 1972, Silkwood started working at Carancas, where she was responsible for making plutonium pellets for nuclear reactor fuel rods. By 1974, she was a member of the Oil, Chemical, and Atomic Workers International Union, OCAW, and became actively involved in the union's Health and Safety Committee. She discovered several safety violations, including exposure to high levels of contamination among workers and improper storage of plutonium. On November 13, 1974, after attending a union meeting, Silkwood was driving to meet with a New York Times reporter, David Burnham. She was prepared to present documentation supporting her allegations against Carancas. However, this meeting was never to be, and her car veered off Oklahoma State Highway 74 and crashed into a concrete culvert. She was found deceased at the scene. The circumstances of the crash have fueled various theories and speculations. An autopsy revealed that Silkwood had taken a significant dose of Quaaludes, which could have impaired her ability to drive. However, skid marks and damage to her car's rear bumper suggested that she might have been forced off the road by another vehicle. Her family and supporters speculated that Silkwood was deliberately driven off the road to prevent her from exposing the company's safety violations. The documents Silkwood was carrying were never found. This added to the mystery surrounding the incident, as those papers were crucial in proving her claims about safety breaches at Carancas. The federal investigation that followed confirmed several of Silkwood's allegations, and the plant eventually shut down in 1975. The legal battle that ensued between Silkwood's family and Carancas was lengthy and complex. The family sued for willful negligence, claiming that the company had exposed Silkwood to dangerous levels of radiation. The initial jury awarded the family over $10 million, but the amount was later reduced on appeal. Ultimately, Carancas settled out of court for $1.4 million without admitting any wrongdoing. Karen Silkwood's story has been widely publicized, notably in the 1983 film Silkwood, starring Meryl Streep. The film brought significant attention to the risks of nuclear energy and the importance of corporate accountability. I've paraphrased it before, and I'll do it again in the future. Silkwood didn't end herself. The Guðmundur and Geirfinnur case, also known as the Reykjavik Confessions, this remains one of Iceland's most notorious and controversial criminal cases. The events began in 1974 when two men, Guðmundur Einarsson and Geirfinnur Einarsson, disappeared 10 months apart. Guðmundur vanished in January after a night out in Hafnarfjordur, while Geirfinnur disappeared in November from Keflavik. The pressure to solve these disappearances led to the arrest and interrogation of several young people. The intense police interrogations, characterized by lengthy solitary confinement and suggestive questioning, resulted in confessions from 6 individuals. These confessions, however, were obtained under dubious circumstances, involving what has been described as memory implantation and manipulation. For example, Trygve Leifson was held in solitary confinement for 655 days, a period filled with intense psychological pressure. Notably, this is the longest confirmed period of solitary confinement outside Guantanamo Bay. Further, they were given antipsychotic drugs, as well as subjected to sleep deprivation and waterboarding. The case saw the convicted individuals spend years in prison before new developments led to a re-evaluation of their guilt. In the 2010s, growing evidence of the flawed nature of the original investigation prompted the reopening of the case. On September 27, 2018, the Supreme Court of Iceland acquitted 5 of the 6 individuals originally accused in connection with the disappearances, 44 years after the events took place. Erla Bolladottir's case was not reopened due to legal technicalities. However, she continues her fight for justice and to clear her name. Her recent request for a retrial was denied, leading her to consider taking her case to the European Court of Human Rights. Erla, who endured 242 days in solitary confinement and harsh interrogations, remains a vocal critic of the judicial processes that led to her conviction. The case has been widely discussed in media and academic circles as a prime example of a miscarriage of justice. The Netflix documentary Out of Thin Air brought international attention to the case, detailing the societal and psychological dynamics that led to the false confessions. The case highlighted issues such as the use of solitary confinement and intense interrogation techniques, which have since been criticized by various human rights organizations. Compensation for the wrongfully convicted individuals and their families has been part of the aftermath. The Icelandic government has formally apologized and awarded financial reparations to the victims. However, I have to question whether any amount of financial compensation can truly make whole these victims. Notably, the fates of Guðmundur Einarsson and Geirfinnur Einarsson remain unknown at present, and it is unclear if they even met with foul play. This was suggested by Discord community member Maze, who also provided some assistance with pronunciation. Join the Discord community to leave suggestions, or leave a suggestion in the comments section. Jophar Vorin. In April 1851, a mysterious figure named Jophar Vorin appeared in the German village of Frankfurt an der Oder. This is a small village in eastern Germany, and not the Frankfurt you've definitely heard of. Jophar Vorin's story began when he was found wandering, seemingly lost and disoriented. Speaking broken German and 2 unknown languages he called Laxarian and Abramian, Vorin's presence and tale baffled the local authorities and scholars. When questioned, he explained that he was on a mission to find his long-lost brother, but had been shipwrecked during his journey. His account included details of his homeland, Laxaria, which he described as being separated from Europe by a vast ocean. He further mentioned 5 continents named Sakria, Aflar, Astar, Auslar, and Uplar, which corresponded to no known geographical knowledge of the time. Vorin's religious beliefs were also peculiar. He claimed to practice a form of Christianity called Ispatian, which was unfamiliar to anyone in Europe. His account of Laxaria and its customs, along with his inability to locate his homeland on any map, led many to speculate about his origins. Some thought he might be from a lost civilization, while others considered the possibility of an elaborate hoax. The mystery deepened when Vorin was sent to Berlin for further investigation. En route, he reportedly experienced a hysterical fit and vanished into the woods, never to be seen again. This disappearance prompted various theories over the years. One popular theory suggests that Vorin might have been a time traveler or someone who slipped through a parallel universe. The idea of teleportation or dimensional travel stems from the fact that his account included advanced geographical knowledge and completely unknown languages. Such theories, while speculative, highlight the human fascination with the unknown and the unexplained. Others propose more mundane explanations, such as the possibility that Vorin was suffering from a mental condition. Alternatively, it has been suggested that it was part of a sophisticated hoax designed to challenge or amuse the scientific community of the time. Others have suggested that the story itself is a fabrication. However, contemporaneous German sources have recently been discovered, lessening this possibility. However, it is possible that the story was fabricated by local newspapers at the time. The lack of physical evidence and the inability to trace his origins have kept his story alive in the annals of unexplained mysteries. This was a suggestion by Discord community member Marsh. Mongitore's whale, also known as Mongitore's monstrous fish, is a cryptid from the Mediterranean Sea, specifically the region around Sicily. The creature was documented by the Sicilian historian and clergyman Antonino Mongitore in 1741, when a mysterious large marine animal washed ashore in Licata. This cryptid gained scientific attention and was later given the scientific name Oxypterus mongitori by the naturalist Constantine Samuel Rafinesque in 1814. The description of Mongitore's whale is notable for its size and unusual features. Mongitore himself sketched the creature alongside more familiar species, such as the sperm whale and the false killer whale, indicating its significant size and unique characteristics. Reports from that time describe the creature as being 45 feet inches long and having a circumference of 23 feet. One of the most intriguing aspects of Mongitore's whale is the presence of two dorsal fins, a feature not typically seen in known cetacean species. This peculiarity has fueled speculation and debate among cryptozoologists and marine biologists. Some suggest that the creature might have been a misidentified known species with anomalous growths, while others believe it could be a completely unknown species of whale. The scientific community's interest in Mongitore's whale highlights the blurred lines between myth, misidentification, and undiscovered species. While some scholars have attempted to classify the creature within known taxonomies, the lack of concrete evidence makes it an ongoing enigma. The classification by Rafinesque, although scientific, still leans heavily on the anecdotal and observational reports from nearly a century prior. In my view, Mongitore's whale is one of the more compelling marine cryptids due to its detailed historical documentation. Unfavorable Semicircle. Unfavorable Semicircle is a YouTube channel which emerged on March 30th, 2015. It quickly began uploading an extraordinary volume of videos starting April 5th, 2015. Each video was marked by abstract, pixelated images, some featuring just a dot on a solid brown background, and often accompanied by distorted sounds or eerie silence. This unusual content immediately drew the attention of internet users and led to widespread speculation and investigation. The hallmark of Unfavorable Semicircle's videos was their brevity and volume. Most were only a few seconds long, though some extended to several hours. A notable video was entirely silent and lasted 11 hours. The videos frequently included a man's voice reciting letters and numbers, adding to the cryptic nature of the channel. Interest in Unfavorable Semicircle soared when a Reddit post about one of its videos caught the mainstream media's attention. By February 2016, the channel had posted tens of thousands of videos, leading to its suspension by YouTube shortly after the BBC covered the story. This only fueled further intrigue and speculation. Some suggest it could be an elaborate alternate reality game. Others hypothesize it might be a modern number station or even an art project exploring the limits of video compression and digital memory. Despite numerous attempts to decode the videos, no definitive explanation has emerged. The channel's cryptic nature has led some to believe the videos might be related to satellites or astrological symbols, particularly given the frequent use of the Sagittarius symbol. One of the most intriguing aspects of Unfavorable semicircle is the discovery that overlapping the frames of some videos reveals hidden images. For instance, by combining frames from the video titled Lock, investigators found a grainy image believed to be related to the Voyager Golden Record. Additionally, the audio in many videos has been suggested to contain encoded binary data. After the original channel was banned, Unfavorable semicircle reappeared on platforms like Twitter and Google+, linking to new YouTube accounts and continuing to post videos. This resurgence, however, was short-lived, with many accounts being deleted or becoming inactive by 2017. The community of enthusiasts dedicated to solving the mystery remains active, discussing and theorizing on platforms like Reddit and Discord. The Mirny diamond mine, located in Mirny, Siberia, is renowned not only for its massive production of diamonds, but also for the mysteries and legends surrounding it. Discovered in 1955, the Mirny diamond mine quickly became a significant asset for the Soviet Union. By 1957, development of the mine began under extreme conditions, including temperatures as low as 40 degrees Fahrenheit and ground frozen solid for 7 months of the year. The Soviets employed innovative techniques like using jet engines to thaw the ground and dynamite to blast through the permafrost. By 1960, the mine was operational and astonishingly productive, generating approximately 10 million carats of diamonds annually, with 20% of these being gem quality. One of the most notable diamonds extracted from the mine was a 342-carat fancy lemon yellow diamond, the largest ever found in the country at the time. The mine reached its peak productivity in the 1960s and 1970s, but its output started to decline as it went deeper. Despite this, it continued to produce significant amounts of diamonds until it was converted to an underground mine in the 1990s. The open pit operations ceased in 2001, and the mine was officially closed in 2004 due to flooding issues and the difficulty of mining at such depths. One of the most persistent legends associated with the mine is the so-called vortex effect. According to this urban legend, the mine supposedly creates a powerful suction that can pull helicopters and small aircraft into its depths. This phenomenon is attributed to the interaction between cold air from the surface and warmer air from within the mine, though no confirmed incidents of crashes have been reported. Another mystery involves the secrecy and suspicion around the mine's production rates. In the 1970s, De Beers, a leading diamond company, grew skeptical of the reported outputs from Mirny. They believed that such a relatively small mine couldn't produce the volumes of diamonds claimed. After years of negotiations, De Beers executives were granted a brief tour in 1976, but were only allowed 20 minutes inside, which did little to alleviate their doubts. One of the most dramatic episodes in the mine's history was its sudden closure in 2004. Officially, it was due to flooding and the impracticality of mining at such depths. However, various alternative theories have been proposed, ranging from the exhaustion of diamond reserves to more speculative and conspiracy-laden ideas of state secrets. Despite its closure as an open pit mine, the Mirny site remains significant. The underground mining operations, now managed by Alrosa, a company responsible for 1/4 of the world's diamond extraction, continue to yield diamonds. In 2009, Alrosa recommissioned the mine, with plans for it to remain operational for another 50 years. The site also continues to attract interest for potential future projects, including a proposed futuristic dome city within the mine's massive crater. The Malawi Terror Beast. The Malawi Terror Beast refers to a series of gruesome attacks in 2003 in the Dawa district of Malawi. The beast, believed by officials to be a rabid hyena, inflicted severe injuries on villagers, causing panic and fear throughout the region. The attacks began in early March 2003. The beast reportedly attacked at least 19 people, resulting in 3 fatalities and numerous severe injuries. Victims suffered from extreme disfigurements, including lost limbs, eyes, and facial features. More than 4,000 villagers fled their homes, seeking refuge in community halls and safer areas. Eyewitnesses and local villagers described the creature as unusually aggressive and larger than typical hyenas. This led to various theories and disputes over the animal's true identity. Some villagers believed the beast did not have the characteristic sloped back of a spotted hyena, suggesting it might be a different, unknown creature. There were also claims that the nature of the attacks, often leaving victims maimed but alive, did not align with typical predator behavior, hinting at a more sinister motive. Theories surrounding the Malawi terror beast include the possibility of it being a supernatural entity. Some locals believe the creature was the reincarnation of a hyena killed in similar attacks the previous year, seeking revenge. This idea was fueled by the beast's elusiveness and the inability of park rangers and police to capture or kill it, despite extensive efforts. The official stance from wildlife authorities identified the beast as a rabid hyena. Rabies can cause animals to become extremely aggressive and disoriented, which might explain the bizarre and brutal nature of the attacks. However, this explanation has not satisfied everyone, especially given the inconsistencies reported by witnesses. Some have suggested that the beast was more bear-like, suggesting the possibility of a bear cryptid being responsible for the attacks. Adding to the mystery, the 2003 attacks were not the first instance of such incidents in the area. In 2002, similar attacks occurred, resulting in 5 fatalities and multiple injuries. The animal responsible then was also identified as a hyena, and it was eventually killed by a joint effort of game rangers and paramilitary police. As discussed, the 2003 attacks were believed by some locals to be the reincarnation of this beast, or perhaps a spirit form of the animal. Despite these measures, the recurrence of attacks in 2003 has kept the mystery alive, and the true nature of the beast remains unknown. Like, subscribe, join the Patreon or YouTube membership, join the Discord, and also check out my Spotify and Apple Music pages for lo-fi beats. Shout out to my patrons Noah Schubert, Iced Mocha, Kurt the Squirt, Monoxide Wendigo, Jophar Metcalf, Z Volts, Jordan All, Franz Tech, Unknown Delusions, Faye, Jack Russell, Boomslang, Spookiest Becky, Vespertine, Metanova, Will Roan, Crab Nebula, and Blasphemous.